Hi guys! Wow, it's echoey in here. I'm really sorry. We're gonna have to put up with it today because there's builders outside. How are you guys? You alright? I'm really glad I get to sit down with you guys today and talk about all the things that I've been making. I'm Gemma, this is Gemma B Makes. This is a channel where I talk about all the things that I've been making over the past couple of weeks. I tend to talk about, well, today I'm going to talk about knitting, some spinning and some sewing that I've been doing. Well, I'm really glad I get to spend some time with you guys today. I have had like the longest week. I say longest. Poor little James has been really poorly. He had a bit of a sickness bug that lasted 5 days, and then after he stopped with all the being sick, it just wiped him out for like 3 days of lethargy on the sofa watching YouTube and other people play Super Mario Brothers. But he's much better now and he's gone back to nursery, and yesterday was the first day I've had all to myself in 2 weeks, and it was glorious. It was so nice, I really enjoyed it, but poor James. He was so poorly. I had lots and lots of mummy cuddles, which are, you know, amazing. At the same time I couldn't pee by myself, so that was not so amazing. So I really enjoyed some time by myself, and now I get to talk to you guys and tell you everything that I've been doing, because last episode, what do I call these episodes? We're not an episode, are we an episode? Sure, why not? Last time I spoke to you guys, I was saying how I wasn't going to be doing much knitting. I really wanted to do some Christmas sewing, and obviously that got put on the back burner because Polly James. So actually I've got much more knitting than I thought I was going to have to show you guys. So it's all a bonus. I got to do lots of knitting. I also started, this is really sad, but playing Pokemon, because I used to love Pokemon. So Pokemon, the game, the computer game on the Nintendo, it came out when I was a kid, and me and my brother used to play in tandem and we absolutely loved it, and I thought I'd play along with James, so me and James have started Pokemon Sword too, so that's eating into some knitting time because that can sap your life. I used to game a lot actually, pre-children and just growing up. I used to enjoy playing computer games, but since I've had boys, I've ruffled the whole table then. Since I've had boys, they like to game and I like to craft, but because we were stuck on the on the sofa, so poorly. It was so poorly. Yeah, we played on computer games. We really enjoyed it, and now it's got to the point where I wait till the children go to bed so I can play on it by myself. I enjoy it though, it's good. Anyway, I'll stop talking about computers and start telling you about some knitting. So I've actually got a finished object for you guys. Didn't think that was going to happen, but I have some Waiting for Henry socks, all finished, all end sewn in and blocked. How cool is that? Really enjoyed making these. My battery is already low. I'm 5 minutes in. This is not a good sign. If I cut out automatically, you know why. So these are the Waiting for Henry socks by Tabitha Gandee. I absolutely adore them. They are knit up in a sock set that I picked up at Yarndale this year, which is from Ainsworth of Print, and it doesn't have a colourway name, but it's the most wonderful. Well, the colour is showing up very well on the screen right now. This lovely, warm, rich chestnut brown. This is a very dark purple. Let's see if I can get a better colour. It's not really showing up the colour quite as well, but it's a nice purple colour. And then I put the heel, and then this is the colour work. So in the past, I've never been able to get colourwork socks to fit, but as you can see, these go quite out at the colourwork section. Yeah, so I started with, I started making the largest size. So I did a 72 stitch cast on, And the pattern has you increase for the colour work anyway by a couple of stitches just to get the right amount of needle repeats on your colour work. And then it decreases again, but I decreased right down to a 64 stitch foot. And it's got a 3x1 rib on the top. So actually these are the best fitting socks I've ever made myself. With some super cankles. And the colour work fits brilliantly. I'm so impressed. I will never be scared of colour work socks ever again. And now I have super warm. It's really, really nice, this yarn. I think I might have enough yarn to make another pair of socks, so I'll probably cast those on straight away because I really like that. I really enjoyed it. And because I wasn't planning on casting anything else on, I thought, while I'm sat here on the sofa of death, I'd go through the bottom of my whip box. So I don't have many whips. I've realised that actually having too many it doesn't work for me. I don't enjoy having something in the bottom of the bag that's been there such a long time. It just makes me feel a bit anxious about it. I don't know. I don't like it. So oh, there's so much glare. Sorry, I'm an idiot. Anyway, however, I did have a pair of Galliano socks cast on, and when I pulled them out, I didn't enjoy them. So in my own homemade bag, I have some yarn from Lucy Locketland that is just one of the best greens. It has just got a bit of everything in it, and I really enjoy the yarn, and I've tried to knit with it 4 times now. The Galliano socks were not my jam. I ripped them all out, and all I have done is cast on a pair of ribbed socks, 3x1, because I enjoyed the Waiting for Henry pattern and I liked the kind of squish that it gave. And I've just cast on 64 stitches and done a regular sock, my regular sock formula, as it were, with a heel flap and gusset. Now the pattern of the rib is not really showing up very well. This yarn has been knit and frogged 4 times, and it is so curly, so you can't really see much of the stitch definition, so I will definitely need to block these socks. But I finally got to the point now where I joined the rest of the yarn from this one instead of the separate frog ball. So I've got further than I ever have using the yarn, but look how lovely it is. I really, really like it. It looks very small, look at this, compared to this, which actually fits my foot, to this, that's like, I mean, it stretches because it's a rib, but it's definitely going to be a present sock, because this is my size and this is maybe an Auntie Sarah size. But yes, much more enjoyable. I just stabbed myself in the face with my needles then. Idiot. But yes, it was a boredom sock, but I'm okay about it. I cast it on in boredom because I had nothing else to knit, and a poly boy stuck to me. I didn't have the brain space to make anything else, and I just cast on, but actually very enjoyable. I think I'm finally going to finish a pair of socks out of this yarn that I so enjoy. I just haven't found the right pattern for it. I think I found it. And then I cast on one more thing, because again, Auntie Sarah requested a bobble hat for Christmas. Now she sent me a text message saying, I've just been to the local craft fair, you should get a table, they're brilliant. Your stuff is so much nicer than the stuff here, you'd sell really well. There was a lady here who sold bobble hats, I really wanted them, but I just thought I'd ask you instead. And I was like, the poor lady, you could have bought something from her stall. And any requests for Christmas knitting needed to be put in formal writing in July, not telling me in mid-November. However, Auntie Sarah's the loveliest, who is David's sister. And she's the best auntie to my boys. And she's like very knit-worthy, so she deserves socks and hats. So I cast on a hat using twist tangle fibres. I'm assuming it's twist tangle fibres. So me and my lovely friend Julie, who is twist tangle fibres, did an advent calendar swap last year, and this was the full skein that came in the advent calendar swap. And how cool are those colours? I absolutely love them. Really, really cool. Now this pattern, the hat is the Muscleberg hat by Ysolda Teague. And I saw this, who's knitting it? Chevis was knitting this, and she was saying lots of people was knitting it, and she got obsessed, and I think she's knit a few now, and I understand why, because they look ace. So you just start with, you start in the middle at the top, and you knit a hat as if you would, but actually you keep on knitting until you get to the other side, and you close in the other side as well, and you put it inside each other, and you've got a double thickness hat that can either be a slouch or a pointy, or you can fold it up and it can become a brim as well, and it's really clever. The pattern means you can choose any size needle and any size yarn, and the way the pattern's written, she has a little chart, and depending on, you get to a certain point and count your stitches, and then you find your size, and it's really very, very cleverly done. I can see myself knitting this a lot, and I've already lined up like 3 different skeins of yarn that I've got ready for the hats. This is going to be my travel knitting from now on. Okay, we're back on track, I think. Oh, the camera keeps stopping and starting and battery dying. Anyway, maybe I should have been a bit more prepared. That's never going to happen. So that's been the knitting that I've been doing. I've also been doing a little bit of spinning. So when Polly James has gone to bed on an evening, I've been doing some spinning. So some of you will remember last time I was talking about some fibre that we were gifted by my local guild. I'm part of the Spinners, Weavers and Dyers Guild, and I go to the Bradford branch. And it's our 40th anniversary next year. We're doing an exhibition for the Bradford Industrial Museum. With the fibre that we've been gifted, the fibre or yarn, then we have to make something, and it's going to be displayed in May next year, so I have to get something ready for April. I've had my cogs turning lots. So many people are giving me so many ideas, and I really, really appreciate them. Thank you. Keep them coming. What else can I make? But I spun the silk. Can you see how absolutely stunning it is? Oh, it's so shiny. It feels so soft. Well, it's silk, so it feels super silky. Now, I have to admit, this was the hardest thing I've spun so far. There is lumps and bumps and all sorts in this. Obviously it's silk, so it's slippery and it's silky, and it runs away from you on the wheel. So it's got all sorts of little lumps and bumps. It's not the most even thing I've spun, but the softness of it is yeah, it's so lush, it's so nice. So there's 50 grams here. I spun it all 2-ply on my electric eel wool nano. That is the only thing I use to spin on right now, until I can get a new one. No, I do enjoy my little nano, but it's I'm ready for a new one. So there was only 50 grams of this. It took me a long time to spin it, simply because I did want to slow down. I had to slow down. And there's no grip to it, so as you're spinning, obviously with wool, it's got a nice big crimp to it, and all the fibres stick together really easily, and they want to be spun, they want to have that grip and to make that yarn, to make that single. But with silk, all the individual fibres are so fine, So you really have to get that twist in. But for a first time spin, first ever time I've spun silk, I'm really, really happy with what I've done. And I'd be quite proud to make something and put it in the museum with it. I just need to think about what to actually make now. They're starting with the drill next door, brilliant. That's amazing, thank you. They're having new windows put in next door. We're just gonna have to get on with it. So, like I said, I'm sorry about the echo. I can feel how bad the sound quality is today. I do have a little bit of sewing that I want to show you. So although I didn't get to do as much as I'd like on this project, I'm really, really happy with what I have done. So let me grab it. So, on my giant cutting board, let's see if I can make some room in here. Come on, over you go, squidgy mess. Oh, world's loudest chair. Sorry. So many noises today. Okay, please don't fall down. So I have been doing some Christmas quilting. Now, I've never actually made a quilt top before. When I say I'm making a quilt, I want to make it to go as a tablecloth for Christmas dinner. So I don't think I'm actually going to quilt it like I would. I don't think I'm going to give it a really thick, I don't think I'm going to put any wadding in it. I'm going to put a back on it, and I'm going to so maybe do a little bit of a quilting pattern, but it's not going to have that quilty squish because I want it to go for the Christmas table. So last time I spoke to you guys, I thought I was going to buy myself a pattern. I was going to follow some instructions. That didn't happen. We knew that wasn't going to happen. What I did do was dive deep into YouTube and the world of quilting. And Donna Jordan at Jordan Fabrics is the most wonderful lady who does the most wonderful tutorials. So I made so many half square triangles with my Christmas fabric. So I had 4 different types, and it's basically the same type, so same fabrics. Can you see there? This one, white with snowflakes, has got the same as the red with snowflakes, and then it's got a white with a gold swirl on there and the red with a gold swirl. So 2 different patterns, 2 different fabrics, and I made lots and lots of half square triangles. You'd think I'd count them, I didn't. You'd think I'd do a little bit of maths to work out how big my table was and no, I didn't do any of that. I just started cutting and started sewing and made lots and lots of half square triangles. And then I followed a tutorial by Donna Jordan Fabrics. Sorry, that little line, her introduction, is stuck in my head. It's like an earworm that I can't get out. Donna Jordan Fabrics. And she helps me do this quilt block. So this, I do believe the pattern is called the Hugs and Kisses quilt. And it's just made up of half square triangles put into a certain place, and now I've got 6 of these. So I've made 6 so far. So they're all the same, nice big stack of them. And that is what I did yesterday, my day off. It was so enjoyable. Now that I have this block, I've got this big block now, I can lay out 3 of these and it fits the width of my table. It's like 1 metre long. It goes over just a little bit. And my kitchen table, my dining table, sorry, opens out quite big. So it's quite it's a square, so it'd be 9 in a square that'd fit perfectly. If it was square, then the whole leaf opens up and it doubles in size. So I need 18 of them. I still haven't counted to see if I have enough. I'm just gonna wing it. I didn't cut all of the fabric. I do have some left. And I did go to my local fabric store the other day and they had the same in. So if I need more, there is more, but I really don't think I'm going to need more. I think I've got plenty. I kind of did a little bit of maths in my head, sort of like, oh, I cut this many, so I might have this many. It's going to be fine. It's going to be fine. But it was very, very fun. I enjoyed it a lot. I did think I was going to be further along in the process because I thought I was going to have an extra week, but you know what? More knitting, cuddles on the sofa, and just a day of sewing by myself yesterday was all I needed, and I feel much better now. I think day 5. So James was really, really poorly, and then he had a day where he was like starting to get a little bit better. And day 5, he had a little bit more to eat. Because he didn't eat anything for like 4 days. He had a little bit more to eat, and I was like, oh, it's finally, he's going down. And then he was sick again through the night. I was like, no. And the next day, when we had to start day 6 on the sofa again, I was like, I can't do this anymore. Oh. It was so dramatic. And loud chairs. But yeah, the poor little monkey, I mean, it was so nice to have that time with him, and but it would be nice if he wasn't sick and ill, and all I could think about was these fat quarters sat there going, well, you ironed me ready, you started cutting, you were ready for the morning, and then the vomit started and the sadness started. But yeah, everybody's well again. Everybody's back to school today, and Mummy is happy because she gets to talk to her YouTube friends, and yeah. So I did work a little bit on my Elton cardigan by Hohi Locatelli, but I've showed you lots and lots. There is not a lot of progress, so I'll save it till next time. I'll put a few more stripes on, but nothing exciting. But yeah, that's everything. That's everything that I've been doing. Hopefully next time I get to speak to you guys, I will have some more of my quilt top done. My tablecloth, it's a tablecloth, I'm making a tablecloth. So hopefully I'll have more tablecloth done, and yeah, I'm going to say again, I'm going to put the knitting on the back burner for a little bit, because well, it's just what I enjoy. I just tend to drift between crafts and go to what I enjoy, and at the minute I'm enjoying being on my sewing machine, so that's what I'm going to do. It is Harrogate Knitting and Stitching Show next week. Oh no, it's not next week, it's this week, it's on Friday. Yay, I'm excited. So thank you to everybody that bought anything from my Etsy shop, because I saved all the funds from all of the things that you bought, all of the bags. There's still a few bags, there's still a few needle cases, so check that out in the description below if you want to have a little look. But thank you to everybody that already purchased. So all the money that I got from the sales is going towards my knitting and stitching show purchases on Friday. So thank you very much for that. I get to have a full day out all by myself. David's taking the day off work. I'm taking myself off for lunch, and then I'm going to go to the show, and yeah, get to have a squish, get to have a play. I'm really looking, I think, I don't think I need any yarn, so I'm not planning on getting any yarn from the stitching show. I would really like to have a play with all the sewing machines. So they've got big sewing machine displays, they've got big long arms. I want to have a little turn on one of those, and I'm looking to get a new machine, so I'd like to go have a little look around, have a little play on a few little things, and see what fits best. So I can, in the future, purchase a sewing machine that's better than the clunky thing that's putting holes in my tablecloth at the minute when I sew. Yeah. So that's exciting, and I think I'm going to try and get some cute quirky fabric. I'd like to make myself something, and I'd like to make something for the Etsy shop as well. I'd like to make some more bags, or yeah, there's a few little bits that I want to make and put in the shop, and if I can find some really nice fabric to do that with, then yeah, then you guys get to enjoy them too. So that's the plan. I'm gonna go have a mooch around all by myself, have lots of fun, get something to eat, have some shopping, have some playing, Sounds fun, right? And thank you so much for joining me this time, guys. It's been super fun. I always enjoy it when I get to actually take some time and talk to you guys. Thank you so much for all your support. You know I appreciate it loads. If you could give me a thumbs up and subscribe, watch an ad at the end because we're on our way to that sewing machine. Thank you so much, guys, for all your support. I'll see you all again next time. See you soon. Bye.